My favorite book is Herman Melville's Moby Dick. It wasn't love at first sight. Um, I think I did do the classic comic version when I was a kid. And I knew The Hunt for the White Whale as an exciting action adventure, something that even passed muster with a group of kids that I hung out with who had cut our teeth on westerns and war movies. But when I was presented with a book as an assignment in school, actually the first two times, high school and college, I made the mistake of saving the whole thing for the last day of Christmas vacation. And I quickly got the reader's equivalent of seasickness in the oceanic expanses of whaling facts and philosophical reflections, and I foundered well before the finish. It wasn't until I was faced with the task of teaching the book to college students in my first American Literature Survey course that I really began to come to terms with it. Incidentally, I've stayed with that same text from that first time to now. Every time I've taught Moby Dick, it's been with this text. You can see held together, or not even held together now, just decorated with duct tape. But it has seen plenty of service. It was really in the process of teaching, I think, and the process of time that I came to love the work. Some of the attraction for me still was the adventure and the action, the plot. But I also began to relish the cetology chapters, to admire the way that Ishmael or Melville, whoever is in charge at this point, turns nearly every fact about whales and nearly every detail about whaling into a metaphysical lesson. And I finally really did get caught up in the vision of reality that the book weaves. It's at once physical and metaphysical, psychological and theological, and the list could go on. It's a kind of compendium of human experience. And it has a wisdom that's laced with irony and also with a very astute sense of the extent of human aspirations and also the limits of human capacities. Now, in addition to the story and the intellectual substance, I love the language of Moby Dick. It's like a symphony in words, capturing in perfect pitch the voice of every character, from the Nantucket innkeeper to the black cook of the Pequod to Cannibal Queequeg to mighty Ahab with his Shakespearean accents. And the language rises and falls to every kind of novelistic purpose, whether it's describing chaotic action or deep reflection or scenes of natural sublimity. I could say more about my admiration for the book, but I think I might end on a little more somber, even elegiac note. I'm not sure Moby Dick is going to continue to hold the satisfactions that I've spoken of for new generations of readers. The past few times I've taught it, and this is to senior English majors, I haven't been able to kindle love or much of a reaction beyond the bleariness that I felt when I tried to read too much of it in too short a time. My fear is that the book's appeal may not survive the shortened attention span of the digital age. It may become something like the symphony in music, a taste for the elite few, but not an expected part of every educated American's experience. Who knows, though? It could be too early to pronounce an elegy over Moby Dick. Maybe it has enough buoyancy to shoot back to the surface like Queequeg's coffin to come up to serve as a lifebuoy for Ishmael. Or maybe, like its title character, it'll prove just too big and too magical to be done in by any merely human set of forces or obstacles. So I certainly hope that it'll be available, culturally available, for others to cultivate the kind of relationship with it that I have done.